What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot laddering. So Series 9 technically starts next week. Next, Saturday. This Saturday. So, we're doing something a little different. We have our first Littleroot qualifier this weekend. If you have not heard about that yet, make sure you go and check out the podcast where we talked about the big announcement. Basically, there's going to be 12 qualifiers and 14 rumbles in the next 6 months, and based on points and everything, there's a 16-player elimination tournament, double elimination tournament in November. So our first qualifier is this weekend, and it is going to be Series 9, so I figured what better way to start out than meme. We're going to meme this week. Probably, I haven't decided if we're going to play this all 3 days this week or what we're going to actually do, but Navier sent me this, and it looks really fun, and I've played quite a few games with it over the course of the last day or so, and it's been really cool. I am a big fan of what we have going on, so let's just jump in here. So we have Leftovers Registeel, which is kind of the hallmark of this team. Body Press, Iron Head, Amnesia, Protect. Notice we are max HP, max defense, and then 4 points here in special defense. We are an extremely bulky boy, and we get bulkier because we have Hitmontop, which is going to use coaching to boost our attack and our attack and defense. So then Registeel just becomes this unkillable wall. What's really sweet about this Hitmontop is not only do we have coaching, which is something I'm absolutely in love with. It's been something that I've been working on my own teams, is like coaching and like just that attack in and of itself. The fact that it can't be redirected because it has to target an ally is huge. The fact that like Amoonguss can't redirect it, and like Togekiss with Follow Me and Indeedee, it just means that you gain so much potential so early in a game that it can really just turn the tide of a game if you get one coaching off. Because we are Sash, we could potentially get two, if not like two plus a helping hand, and then Hitmontop goes down. Fake Out, because Fake Out's really good. Close Combat, because we need natural damaging attack in case we get taunted or something like that. So Intimidate is a hell of an ability. If you haven't seen it, if you've never played this game before, Intimidate is probably the most powerful ability you can have on a Pokemon for competitive play. So really going to try to utilize Hitmontop to the best of our capabilities. And this speed stat of 127 conveniently makes us 1 point faster than our Mamoswine here, so that we can coaching plus max Mamoswine here and really punish our opponent for trying to intimidate us because we have Oblivious, so we're immune. Life Orb plus all of our attacks just means that Mamoswine is going to deal a ton of damage. Now, notably, our two physical attackers here, being Registeel and Mamoswine, are exceptionally weak to not only burn but also like status in general. So we have Tapu Fini rounding this out with Misty Surge. This is just Citrus Berry, pretty stereotypical. We are max special attack, max HP, so we're going to dish out a ton of damage. I'm not sure if we actually need Calm Mind. I have a Fini set that I've been playing with that is like Nature's Madness and Nature's Madness. I've seen Aaron Zhang was playing with like Soak and Haze the last couple weeks. I haven't gone quite that deep yet, but it is something to note that is a possibility because Tapu Fini has really good coverage and like really good moves. So rounding out the team, we here have Weakness Policy, Moltres, and Comfey. Comfey really is like our Trick Room answer, like outside of Registeel. Just because we can click Trick Room, we can also taunt the opposing Trick Room setters. So then we can like max Moltres in front of things and get a huge Fiery Wrath or max Darkness or max Airstream off, and then counter Trick Room. We can trigger Policy, plus then like the following turn reverse Trick Room. You can just taunt them. Mamoswine doesn't really care about Trick Room in and of itself because we do have that Ice Shard, so we do have a little bit of priority. This team's been really fun. And Amnesia Registeel has been able to take so many hits, even ignoring the fact that like we have coaching and can boost our special attack or our defense as well. Half the time it just doesn't come up. This team has been really cool. We're going to be playing on my account because, hey, I don't really care about my rank, but just for reference, we are at like just over 1,200 on this account, and I really don't feel like starting over on a fresh account. So yeah, let's just jump in to game number 1 here. Let's see. Metagross, Tornadus, Feeny, Regieleki, Urshifu, and Incineroar. I'd be very surprised if they don't bring Incineroar. I could see this being Tornadus plus Metagross up front here, and trying to go for like Brutal Swing plus Tailwind to make Metagross a huge threat. That is something that has happened in Series 7. So I'm not surprised to see it here from our opponent. Feeny on their end could be kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you all. Could be really annoying to actually try to deal with. But they don't really have any way of statusing our guys, so I don't think we need our Feeny, especially since it just comes in and like dies to Regieleki, and it takes a pretty big hit from the Metagross itself as well. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I just like Mamoswine plus Hitmontop up front here. Hitmontop is going to be really important here because we do get to be able to intimidate like their Incineroar and their Urshifu here. Obviously, you can't intimidate the Metagross because of Clear Body. And then I think rounding at the back, I think we just want Comfey and Moltres. I'm not entirely sure what we want to Dynamax here in the early game, but it is a potential to be able to just... I mean, honestly, we can put on a ton of pressure real early here if we do Dynamax. Seeing how they bring out Eleki Tornadus. But I don't think that's correct. I think the play I like... So I just want to delete this Tornadus before it ever gets to do anything. So we just go for Fake Out plus Icicle Crash. That's basically a guaranteed KO into the Tornadus. And we don't have to use our max to set Hail, which will then get rid of our Sash on our Hitmontop. So yeah, Tornadus goes down. They're going to switch out the Eleki into Feeny, which... I mean, does kind of put a little bit of pressure here on Mamoswine, but not enough that I really care. They could go for... Let's see. They didn't get Tailwind up because we went for Fake Out. Like, Calm Mind would be kind of annoying here, but not the end of the world. I'm debating if I want to Dynamax Mamoswine here. Go for that Max Quake into the Metagross. Plus a coaching, because I have a feeling at +1 we do a good chunk to Metagross. We could also target down the Feeny because, like, I actually like that a lot. If we Max Quake into the Feeny slot and we go for coaching this turn, like, they could potentially, yeah, they're gonna protect Metagross. This is actually really good for us. I'm not sure this is going to pick up a KO. It does. Okay. Sick. We get the special defense boost on both of our guys. I don't think that's really going to matter. Like, we do know they have Regieleki here in the back, but Mamoswine just eats this alive. Yeah, this is pretty solid game here for Mamoswine to start out. Just go for another coaching here, and this should pretty much seal up this game. Going to +2 on Life Orb Mamoswine is just bananas. Electro Ball. Okay, that tells me they're probably Scarf on the Eleki. But I don't think we really care. I'm just going to Quake this Eleki. We'll go for a Helping Hand this turn, and this will wrap up this game. Yeah, we actually live another Electro Ball too, so cool. Game number 1 in the books. Mamoswine came out to play today. I'll take it. I will take it. So this, honestly, I kind of like the idea of playing on Showdown for these because we can fire off a ton of games today, which is something that on actual ladder on cart you don't get to do a ton of. So we have Amoonguss, Feeny, Moltres of their own, Meowstic male? That is male. Okay. Glastrier and Incineroar. So they could have like a Trick Room mode here with Meowstic plus Amoonguss on the lead, and that would let them go for like Rage Powder plus Trick Room. With like Glastrier in the back. I think our play... I think this is just another Mammo game. Mammo with Hitmontop. I really like Feeny here just because it is going to shut off Spore as an out for them. And then I think I just want Moltres to round this out. Could be right to bring Registeel, just so we can like sit in front of this Glastrier and take hits all day. Which I actually don't hate. The problem is like we're not really putting on any kind of pressure against any of their Mons with Registeel. And I don't really anticipate them getting a Trick Room up in this game. So yeah, let's just bring Moltres here. It's gonna be a Amoonguss Meowstic. I think this is pretty okay. So what do we like? I think the correct play is just Icicle Crash this Amoonguss and go for a Fake Out into Meowstic. Not gonna lie, I definitely forgot Meowstic has Fake Out of its own. Icicle Crash is just enough to pick up the KO on the Amoonguss. Luckily, they're not Sash. That could have actually gone really poorly for us had they been Sash, but the Sash is most likely on this Meowstic. They're going to bring in Glastrier, which makes me want to preserve this Hitmontop for sure. The question is what do I go into here? Because I could see them max knuckling into Mamoswine. Could protect, could max plus max guard. I don't really like maxing Mamoswine here. I don't think it does a ton for us. I think they might have Moltres in the back, and if so, I think Mamoswine is really, really good against it. So I think it's actually correct to preserve Mamoswine if possible. I think going for protect plus a switch into Feeny is probably okay here. We do see the Dynamax from the Glastrier. It's going to be a Steel Spike into Mammo. Going to get that defense boost. And there is the Trick Room. I'm actually kind of okay with this, because now we can cycle Mammo out into Hitmontop, get the Intimidate off, and go for a Calm Mind here with Feeny, and start bulking up in front of them. Get that Intimidate off. They're going to go into Incineroar, which we don't really care about. Quick into Hitmontop. They're going to get the Special Defense boost. We get our Calm Mind off. We are a pretty fast Hitmontop, so I think they're going to underspeed us with Incin. So Fake Out their Fake Out doesn't really work here. We could Helping Hand plus Muddy Water this turn, but then we're most likely losing Hitmontop, and I think I want to preserve it. So we could go into Moltres this turn, anticipating a Quake into this slot, and just go for another Calm Mind. I don't think they attack the Feeny here, so I think getting a free Calm Mind is actually pretty okay. They actually read us and go for the Hailstorm into Moltres. Nice read. They're going to Parting Shot off my Feeny, but I don't really care about that. So let's see. We can go back into Hitmontop, get another Intimidate off into this Glastrier. 2 turns of Trick Room left. I think we know we are slower than Meowstic, so we can actually go for a Fake Out into Glastrier and protect this turn. I actually think I like that a lot because they could... Yeah, I think this is correct. They're going to go into Incin. Okay. I'm kind of okay with that. Get the Fake Out into Glastrier. Yep. One more turn of Trick Room. I think this turn I'm going to go for... Could go into Mamo. Mamo takes like every hit from this Glastrier. And we can go for the Muddy Water. I don't want to max, I don't think. Because they could cycle out Ensign off of a Parting Shot again. And we know that we are slower than them. Yeah, we are in fact slower than them. Well, faster than them. So going for the going for it this turn is not great. Yeah, we'll just click Muddy Water here. I think this is fine. Gonna have Heavy Slam. Parting Shot off the Feeny. Gonna bring back out the Meowstic again. Muddy Water misses on the Glastrier, but we about 50% the Meowstic. I'm pretty okay with that. So the question is, I'm gonna go back into Hitmontop. And they probably go for... I think they probably try to set up another Trick Room here, so I kind of want to just Moonblast this Meowstic this turn. Could max and go for a Geyser into it. Which I think is fine, because then our Geysers are going to do more in the future. Yeah, I think I like this. Yeah, they fake out the Feeny. Gonna put us in Citrus Berry range. Gonna get healed up. Meowstic is going to go down. They can't Heavy Slam us now because we Dynamax. Yeah, that turn could not have gone better for us, I think. So now they intimidate us. So this turn, we're gonna go for Fake Out into Ensign and Geyser into Ensign. Pick up the KO on it. They're gonna protect Glastrier. It does not matter. Pick up the KO there. And now we can go Helping Hand. Those Geyser into Glastrier. Should not pick up the KO, not quite. But Icicle Crash is not enough to pick up the KO there. Close combat. And Moonblast will pick up the KO here. Pending that they don't protect. Awesome. 2-0. 2-0 on the day. That's I don't know if you all could see the chat there or how much of it you could see, but our opponent big fanned me, which one of the streamers I watch, his name is Frank Lepore. He is a Magic player, very phenomenal player. And anytime he gets recognized online, because his name is Frank Lepore online, his tag is. And anytime his opponent says, "Hey, I'm a big fan of your work," he always ends up losing. Never fails. It's a curse to him. And as soon as I saw it, I thought that's what was going to happen. But we persevered, and we didn't get cursed. So let's see. We have Zapdos, Metagross, Feeny, Garchomp, Ensign, and Whimsicott. I don't want to lead Hitmontop because they could have the Moltres on the lead, but I do want Mamo. I think Mamo's really good here. Could just be like Mamo Registeel and start bulking up in front of them, but I don't think this really accomplishes anything. Could also just be Moltres Comfey because that lines up really well against most of what they have going on. And with late game Mambo Hitmontop. It's going to be Zapdos up front and Feeny. I'm pretty okay with this lead. Just going to try to pick up a KO on their Zapdos here. Trying to kiss the Moltres. Airstream seems really appealing. They could protect. I don't think Detect actually accomplishes anything here. I don't want to Darkness because then we're dropping the special defense and then we're going to trigger Defiant. So if we are maxing here, it's definitely for Air Slash. I think this is actually a pretty okay. They are faster. That's pretty okay. There's the Policy. There's a Knuckle, which is not enough to put us into Berserk range. But after this, oh, it's just going to be Calm Mind. Interesting. I was actually expecting a Moonblast and a Moltres and just double up there. Intimidate coming out from the Ensign. We're going to go for a Floral Healing. Yeah, Comfey after the speed boost is very fast here. And we're just going to go for... Actually, I could go into Top. Does Top do anything? I don't think so. Top doesn't put on any kind of pressure against Feeney. Actually, we kind of have a pretty poor matchup against specifically Feeney here. Yeah, let's just Floral Healing the Moltres. And we'll go for another Airstream into Ensign. Pick out into Comfey. Not quite enough to pick up a KO. And it is going to put them into Citrus Berry range. And that's going to trigger Berserk. So that's really good. Because now we can Floral Healing again. And Airstream into Feeney at +3 might be enough to pick up a KO. Let's find out together. They're going to go into Metagross. Pretty okay with that. Not quite enough to pick up the Feeney. I'm just going to Calm Mind again, but whatever. They are lefties on Feeney as well. I feel like I want to fire off a taunt into this Feeney so they can't Calm Mind anymore, but I can also just Air Slash and take them out this turn. I like going into Hitmontop here because I anticipate a Steel Spike into the Comfey slot this turn. And we can just Air Slash down this Feeney. It should put into Air Slash range. Not quite, actually. It's just going to be Ice Punch into Moltres. Yeah, double up there is going to take us out. Okay. Now we have to rally back. Because they still have their Intimidate. I mean, I feel like this is just Mammo. I think coaching plus... Oh, they don't have a clear-cut way of triggering policy on their team. Could be Bulldoze Garchomp, which is naturally faster than Metagross, but that would do a ton. I wouldn't think that'd be the case. Could be Bulldoze Ensign or like Fling Whimsicott. But I feel like this is definitely Dynamaxing in front of us. I think the Metagross is going to Dynamax this turn. The question is what do we do to answer it? I think we only have one choice here. They actually just protect Metagross. They're going to double protect. Okay. So we get a free coaching. That's actually one of the perks of playing with Hitmontop specifically, because you do have Fake Out. People are just going to naturally be scared of you and want to protect in front of you. So now, I think we're just going to go for a second coaching plus high horsepower into the Metagross. Still no Dynamax. Goodbye. Wonder if this is Muddy Water. It is. It's actually, the crit's actually enough to take out my boy. This is really awkward. We can close combat into Ensign, and that might be enough to pick up the KO. And I kind of want to Floral Healing the Hitmontop just to put it back in Sash range, but I don't think that does anything. I'm just going to Draining Kiss the Feeney. Not doing a ton there. They go for Fake Out. Not surprised. Muddy Water is enough to pick up the KO on the Hitmontop. And I don't really see how we possibly win this game at this point, so yeah, let's just call it there. Let's see. Yeah, we got time for one or two more. Wheezing Gigas. Interesting. So Intimidate would be really good here, but unfortunately they have this minor problem that is Wheezing. Backing it up with Eliki, Urshifu, and then the Sun Duo of Torkoal Venusaur, which Moltres lines up pretty okay against. We could just try to set Trick Room. The problem with that is that we just don't do anything. Like once Trick Room is up, like if they have Torkoal in the back, then like we just gave them a free like basically a free eruption, but they don't have a way of setting Trick Room on their team, so I doubt this is actually eruption on their Torkoal. I actually think this might be a Registeel Hitmontop game. Like, we're gonna bring out Registeel and just sit in front of this dork and ignore it. We do obviously need to watch out for Urshifu if that's the case, so Moltres seems pretty okay. And I think Tapu Fini also seems pretty good here. Just because if they do have, like, if they lead the Sun Duo here, then we can switch into Fini and prevent the Sleep Powder from coming off. So what's the play? Now that we got into this position, how do we actually do anything? I think the correct answer is they're going to protect Weezing so they don't get hit by Fake Out. I'm going to go for an Amnesia here. I'm just going to Coaching into the Registeel. Obviously, they're going to Dynamax. It's actually just Quake into Registeel, and that does a ton. That does way more than I actually anticipated. And it's just Will-O-Wisp in the Hitmontop. Okay, well, that turn went pretty poorly, all things considered. We can protect the Registeel. We can go for a second Coaching. Quick is not enough to pick up a KO. Now we're at +2 defense. Okay, how do we do things here? We could max. I think if we max Registeel, we live a hit. Could Iron Head into the Giga slot, which would then put us at 500 defense. I actually like that. I think it's Steel Spike into... I think we need to take out this Weezing, and I'm going to go into Fini here to prevent them from burning my Registeel. Crit there could have been very bad, but luckily we did not get crit. Steel Spike into Weezing, going to do just over half. Their Dynamax is now over. And now we can Steel Spike into the Weezing. And, like, this is really awkward because they're at +3 special defense on this Gigas, and, like, I have basically no way of dealing with it. So, oh, I'm also an idiot. I went into Fini to prevent a burn, and my ability is turned off because of this stupid Weezing. So we'll go back into Hitmontop, I guess. High horsepower is, because of the crit, going to be enough to take us out. Yep, I think that's going to be GG at this point. Like, we can go into Moltres. The fact that we don't have our Dynamax now is really bad. Moltres is going to be slower than Gigas. We can just go for Fiery Wrath. Like, I guess the play was to just switch in and make them waste a turn of their Dynamax. But, like, because I had already invested so much into into Registeel trying to make it live, that it just did not accomplish anything for us. We'll go for the Fake Out into Weezing this turn. They also have Thunder Punch. Good lord. Fiery Wrath is enough to take out the Weezing. Slow Start is going to trigger. They get intimidated. Berserk does not trigger. But now they have Eliki, and Eliki is fast and mean. So we'll go into Fini and protect the Moltres this turn. They're going to try to, like, Thunderbolt into the Moltres to pick up the KO on it. Misty Surge is going to go up. Yeah, it's just Electro Web, which still does a sizable chunk. We'll click Fiery Wrath. We will click Muddy Water, I guess. They missed the Moltres, which is good. Fiery Wrath is enough to pick up the KO on the Eliki. Thunder Punch is not enough to pick up the KO on Fini. And we missed the Muddy Water. Of course, of course. I guess we air slash the Urshifu and go into Hitmontop to intimidate. Urshifu is going to be faster, though. Oh, they also have Sucker Punch. And Thunder Punch is still not enough. Muddy Water plus... No, I think we just Moonblast plus fake out the Gigas. Dang it. I debated going for Sucker Punch going for fake out into Urshifu, but I figured they might protect, and if they protect, then, like, we just waste our turn. But if we go for fake out, and they don't, and we go for a Moonblast, then Gigas goes down to its Life Orb. So that might have actually been the play, because it breaks a potential Sash on the Urshifu as well. That seems like a really tough matchup, all things considered. Let's run it back. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. What if we do Mammo plus Hitmontop up front and just try to take this Weezing out early? I think Moltres is pretty good here. And I think Registeel is pretty okay in the back as well, just to, like, set up an Amnesia and dunk on all these special attacking dorks. So it's going to be Eliki plus Ensign up front. I'm just going to Quake into Eliki, pick up the KO on it, and we'll go for a Coaching into Mamoswine. If they want to protect Eliki, I feel like they still might go down. We are faster than all possible Ensigns except for exactly Choice Scarf. Yeah, they fake out into Mamo. They reflect, but I don't think that's going to matter because our Coaching just outdoes it. Yep. And we crit through the screen, so, like, it didn't actually matter. They're going to bring out Gigas, which tells me that they have Weezing in the back. So now we can just Quake into the Ensign slot and go for another Coaching. Yeah, there's the Weezing, but I don't think that actually matters. We should live a Knuckle. Oh, yeah, this is not particularly close. And now we're at +2, and we get to Quake, and they don't have the Shuka. Even if they have Shuka Berry there, we might take them out. Like, now we get a free Intimidate on the Gigas. They would bring back out Ensign, but, like, at that point, it does not matter. So, that's how you actually beat Gigas with this team, is you bring Mamoswine and dunk on them. So, takeaways from today. We didn't really ever get to do Registeel things, and I think that's fine. Like, the games where you get to, it is so good. It is phenomenal. But it takes a very special set of circumstances for this Registeel to be good. And unfortunately, we just ran into a bunch of offensive teams today, and as a result, we didn't get to set up in front of them and make them miserable. Past that, the team did its thing. Mamoswine definitely put on a clinic today. Moltres was phenomenal as always. And, you know, Feeny did its work. Comfey, Hitmontop was phenomenal. Hitmontop single-handedly won us multiple games. The fact that, like, people want to protect in front of it to not get fake out, and instead we just go for Coaching is huge, because then we just get a free Coaching. And we all know that a free +1/+1 is really powerful. So that's going to be it, everyone. Let's see. I was going to say let's throw up the rental code, but we actually don't have one because we're playing on Showdown. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back later in the week with some more Littleroot laddering. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.